Hello, good morning, my dear students. Welcome to today online session class. So this is for second year guys, and now today we are going to have a discussion on one of our prescribed lessons, that is a wrong man in workers' paradise. A wrong man in workers' paradise. So all of you have an idea that whoever commits sins, they will not go to paradise. It's a kind of belief, perhaps a trust that every religion has. The man or a woman who commits everything good, they will only able to go to paradise. But here look at the title of the lesson, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So this is written by none other than the greatest philosopher, literary giant, poet, novelist, playwright, painter, music composer, and a visionary of Indian education system, the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. So this lesson has written by Rabindranath Tagore, who was born 1861 and died in 1941. 1861 he was born and 1941 he died. So now, before going to this lesson, there are some pre-reading activities that have been given in page number 7. Please, those who are having textbooks, just try to have a look on the textbook and listen to me simultaneously, because today due to the net problem, I am not able to provide you PPT slides. So that is why today only the class will go on. So now, in pre-reading activities, we have given some points on which we have to focus. So what are your hobbies? This is the first pre-reading activity. What are your hobbies? So that means every individual, they have their own hobbies like painting, dancing, singing, book reading, traveling, playing cricket, painting. So number of hobbies are there. So you just try to introspect yourself that what hobby you are possessing. This is the first pre-reading activity. And the second one is, do you like any fine arts such as painting, music, dance, or sculpture? So this is the second one. Do you like, fine arts, like, do you like painting or music or dance or sculpture? And the third one is, did you learn any art from when you were in school? So nowadays we cannot find these kind of schools, but in olden days there were schools where students used to learn these fine arts. Just try to imagine yourself that when you were studying in school, if you had learnt any fine arts, if it is yes, say yes. If it is not, say no. And then next, did you take art seriously or did you look at it only as a hobby? So some people, they take art as a serious matter or serious issue, and some people also, they don't take art in serious way. Did you enjoy learning it? If yes, did you ever consider pursuing art as a career? If no, why not? If you are a painter, if you are a painter, have you ever decided to take as a profession as a painter? If yes, say yes, or if you don't want to become a professional artist, say no. And now, can our hobby become our career? If no, what compels us to keep our hobby separate from our career? What value do you think art or artists have in our society? So these are all the pre-reading activities which have been given before entering the lesson. Now let us come to the introduction of the author. Rabindranath Tagore, 1861-1941, was the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature. So this is the important point which you have to note. So he was the first Asian literary artist who received Nobel Prize for his Gitanjali in 1913. In 1913, Rabindranath Tagore was bagged Nobel Prize for his work called Gitanjali. Besides being a multifaceted artist, he was a poet, novelist, playwright, painter, music composer, and philosopher, a visionary educationist also. So he started a school also, right? He was the founder of the experimental school Shantiniketan. This is what I want to tell you. His school was established, and named as Shantiniketan. It was a experimental school like. And he was given the honorific Gurudev by Mahatma Gandhi. So Mahatma Gandhi extolled him, right? Praised him by giving Gurudev title to him. While Tagore was the voice of India's spiritual heritage for the Western world, for India he was a great living institution. So the institution or the education system that has been introduced by Rabindranath Tagore is right now also, explode everywhere in India. So now let us come to the story about a little short story. This is A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. So this present story illustrates the famous slogan. So one famous slogan was there in early 19th century, that is art for art's sake. So art for art's sake. That means it doesn't need any kind of priority. It is nowhere connected with money. So it is art is only for the sake of art. Okay. So this was the famous slogan which was coined in the early 19th century by French philosopher Victor Cousin. So Victor Cousin was the founder of this famous slogan, art for art's sake. Now art for art's sake, how it is related to this story, we are going to have discussion shortly. So the slogan expresses the idea that true art needs no justification. So whatever the art that is true, it doesn't need any kind of justification by anyone. So this is, the meaning of art for art's sake. That means the true art will never need any kind of justification by anyone. And also that it need not serve any political, didactic, moral or practical purpose. So art for art's sake means, okay, this idea, it will not need any kind of justification by anyone, and also at the same time it need not to serve any political agenda or didactic agenda or moral agenda or practical purpose like. And that art is valuable as art, and the only objective of art is the pursuit of pure beauty. So this is the art pursuit of pure beauty only. It doesn't need any kind of justification. It does not serve any political or didactic or moral or practical purpose. So it is for itself. Art is for itself. Tagore, however, conveys this complex concept in a simple and humorous narrative, which in fact reminds us of a popular proverb, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So this is a famous proverb, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So the present story, let us go to the present story. This is actually translated from original Bengali, and this translation has made by Bhavani Bhattacharya. Bhavani Bhattacharya translated this story from Bengali. Right. And now let us start the lesson. The man never believed in utility. Having had no useful work to do, he indulged in mad whims. So there was a man once upon a time, so who never believed in utility, that means usefulness, and also he believed that having no useful work to do him, so he always used to think or dream mad whims. Whims means what do you call? Strange ideas. Whims means strange ideas. I can say whims means, very odd behavior, odd ideas like. He made little pieces of sculpture, men, women, and castles, quaint earthen things dotted over with seashells. So, he was the man who never believed in utility, and he had never made any kind of useful work. So, he used to made little pieces of sculpture like men, women, and castle, quaint earthen things dotted over with seashells. He painted, thus he wasted his time on all that was the useless and unnecessary. So whatever he produced, whatever the things that has been done by this waste man, okay, they were useless and they were unnecessary things. So this is what he has done all his lifetime. So that is what people used to tell us, at the right time, at the right context, you have to take right decision. But here, in contrast, this man who never believed in utility and he doesn't made any kind of useful work all his lifetime. He painted, he made some little pieces of sculpture, men, women, and castles, which are no longer useful to the society. They have become useless and they have become unnecessary. So people laughed at him. Sometimes he would vow to shake off his mad whims, but his mad whims would keep clinging to his mind. So everybody, the people who are living in the society, they started laughing at him. They started making fun of him because he had wasted all of his precious lifetime by making unnecessary and useless things. And then next, some boys never ply their books and yet pass their examinations. So here we can see in our day-to-day life also, you might have wondered through your examination results, those people who do not come to the class regularly, those people who do not spend much time in studying, sometimes they will get good marks. But here the same thing happened to this same wrong man. What happened? A similar thing happened to this man. He spent all his life in unnecessary work on the planet Earth, yet after his death, the gates of the heavens flung open for him. So one fine day, what happened? He died, okay, and his spirit has been taken to the heaven. So this is most ironical, and this is most something, funny thing which you can find, because all of us have a belief, a trust that only good men or good women will go to the paradise or heaven because of our good deeds. And here, in contrast, the same person who wasted his all lifetime and who made nothing in his life, who did nothing in his life, had reached to the heaven mistakenly. But the moving finger writes even in the heavens. So he was habituated to odd duty. So there also, in heaven also, he started moving his fingers. So it came to pass that the aerial messenger who took charge of the main made a mistake and found a place for him in workers' paradise. So it was a mistake that has been done by an angel. So that angel had mistakenly taken this guy to the heaven where the work is worship. It is called workers' paradise. That means work only the worship there. So everybody, whoever living in that paradise, they will always busy in their work. So work is worship for them. And then next, in this paradise you will find everything except leisure. This angel said to that wrong man, see man, in this paradise or in this place you can find everything, but not leisure. So this man, all his time he spent leisurely. So see, look at the strange thing that you can see with this man. So what the angel said? So you can find everything in this paradise, but except you will not find any kind of leisure here. That means everybody is busy, very much busy over here. Right. And what this man said in response? Men said, God, we haven't a moment to spare. Women whisper, let us hurry on. Dear, time is flying. All exclaim, time is precious. We always have our hands full. We are making use of every single minute. They sigh complainingly, and yet those very words make them feel happy and exalted. So there, some people are speaking together, okay, and they are saying, we do not have that much of time. We do not have that much of space. We have to go. Let us hurry because we have lot of works to do, because time is spacious. So in contradictory, for this wrong man, time is not at all a precious thing for him, because he spent all his time without doing any kind of useful things. And right then, but this newcomer who had passed all his life on the planet Earth without any employment did not fit in with the scheme of things in workers' paradise. How it can be possible? So in workers' paradise, every worker is very much busy with their own works, and they do not want to waste even a minute. Whereas concerned to this guy, a person who wasted all of his time, and how this place can fit for this guy. So this is what happened to him. He was shocked, he was astounded, he was dazzled, right? And what happened in the meanwhile? He lounged in the streets absent-mindedly and jostled with hurrying men. He lay down in green meadows and was taken to task by busy farmers. He was always in the way of others. So when he was alive, he was problem to the society. And when he had been to the paradise, here also he is creating problems to everyone. Just he is loitering aimlessly, okay, and wandering on the roads, disturbing others. Like that he was doing in the heaven. A hustling active girl went every day to a silent torrent. Silent, for in the workers' paradise, even a torrent did not waste its energy by singing. So there he found an active girl over there, okay, who was going to the river over there to fill her pitcher. So there is a small pitcher in her hands. The girl was going towards the torrent, okay, a small flowing river, and she was filling that pitcher and taking somewhere else. The girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. Her hair was carelessly done. A few inquisitive wisps flew onto her white forehead to peep at the dark wonder of her eye. So she was very much skilled lady. The work that has been done by her seems to be a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. So how a skilled guitarist will play the guitar, like that this girl was going over there, filling the pitcher and going somewhere in order to pour the filled water. The unemployed man was standing by the fountain motionless, as a princess sees a lonely beggar through her window and is filled with pity. And the busy girl of heaven saw the unemployed man and was filled with the pity. So here, the same lady, the same girl, happened to be met with this guy, who was, just standing idle, wasting his time. And she was very much shocked by seeing him. And now she started conversation with this wrong man. She said, "You haven't any work in hand." Now that girl is asking to this wrong man, "Don't you have any work in your hand? Can't you do any kind of work? I wonder you haven't have any kind of a work." This is what she asked to this wrong man. And in reply, the man sighed, "Work, I have not a moment to spare for work." So shamelessly, this wrong man replied to that lady, that girl, "I have not a moment to spare for work." That means I do not want to do any kind of a work. The girl did not understand his words, so she said, "I may manage to spare some work for you if you like." As soon as the girl heard the answer from this waste man, okay, a wrong man, she said, "I may manage to spare some work for you if you like." She said, "I have a work. If you want to do any kind of a work, I can manage you to work." The man replied, "Girl of the silent torrent." Torrent means, once again I told you, a stream. The man replied, "Girl of the silent torrent, all this time I have been waiting here only to take some work from your hands." Now this man replied to that girl, so he has been waiting for a long time only to take some kind of a work from that girl's hand. She asked, in reply what she said, "What sort of work would you like?" The girl is asking right now to this wrong man, what kind of a work you would like to do. He said, "Girl of the silent torrent, could not give me one of your pitchers, one which you could spare?" She asked a pitcher, "Perhaps you should like to draw water from the torrent." Now this man is asking, "Why don't you give me one pitcher so that I can do some kind of a work, right? Perhaps you should like to draw water from the torrent." Now what she said in reply, "If I give this pitcher to you, what you have to do? You have to draw water from the torrent." That means stream. He replied, "No, I will draw pictures on your pitcher." In reply, what this wrong man said, No, I will not draw water from the stream. Okay, I will try to paint some pictures. I will try to draw some pictures on your pitcher. The girl became annoyed and said, so this girl became exasperated. She was shocked by listening this kind of a reply from that wrong man. Right, and what she said in reply, I have no time to waste on people such as you. I am going, and away she went. So as soon as she heard the word, the reply from that wrong man that he wants to paint some pictures on the picture, she was shocked and annoyed, exasperated. She said that she has no time to spend with these guy, with these guys, these kind of wrong man people, and she went away from there. Then, but how could a busy person get the better of one who had nothing to do? Every day they met, and every day he said to her, girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your pictures, I will draw pictures on it. So the days are going on, passing on. The same girl is coming on the same way in order to fill her picture, and the same wrong man, who is always meeting her and requesting her to give one of the pictures. So then what happened? At last she had to give away and hand him over one of her pictures. So finally what she did, she gave one of her pictures to this wrong man. So the man began to paint on it. He drew line after line. He put color after color. So as soon as he received the picture from that girl, he started drawing on that picture. Okay, and line by line, line after line, color after color, he started painting on that picture. When he had finished, the girl held up the picture and stared at its side with eyes filled with wonder. So after finishing the drawing on the picture, this waste man or this wrong man gave it to the same girl. And when she looked at the picture, she wondered because it was a beautiful painting. Her then brows drawn into an arch, she asked, what do they mean, all these lines and all these colors, and what is their purpose? See here, a sensible question has been, raised by this girl. So as soon as she looked at the paint, she was unable to understand what kind of a paint it was. And then she asked, so you have drawn line after line, and you put color after color, and you have drawn into an arch, like what exactly this paint meant by? This is what she asked. All these lines and all those colors, and what is their purpose? Is there any purpose of your painting? This is what asked by that girl. And in reply, this man laughed. Nothing. A picture never has any meaning, and it never serves any purpose. So this is related to the great slogan, art for art's sake. This is what he said. He laughed at her and said, a picture never has any meaning and it never serves any purpose. Neither it has meaning nor it serves any purpose. The girl went away with her picture at home, away from prying eyes. She held in the light, turned it round and scanned the painting from all angles. So when she reached home, she started gazing at the picture which has been painted by this wrong man or waste man. Actually, she wants to find out what kind of a picture it was and what is the purpose in that paint. At night time, she left her bed, lit a lamp and scanned it again in silence and wonder. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So this is for the first time to that girl, a product that has been made, a paint that has been made by this wrong man has no meaning and no purpose. This is for the first time in her life. When she set out for the torrent the next day, her hurrying feet were a little less hurrying than before, for in her mind thoughts had arisen, thoughts that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So the next morning, when she was about to go to the torrent in order to fill once again her pitchers, so her walking style has been changed. Earlier, she used to walk quicker, and now she started thinking about that paint, about that picture, which has been, gifted by this wrong man. What would be the meaning, or what would be the purpose of that paint? This is what she has been started thinking on that, so that in her life, first time in her life, she was not walking quickly, and she saw unemployed man standing by the torrent, and she asked confusedly, but what do you want from me? And the same man who was standing near the torrent, and this girl asked him, what do you want from me? He said, only some more work from your hands. And what sort of work would you like? He said, let me weave a colored ribbon for your hair if you will. Now this wrong man started, by telling her that he wants to make some kind of color ribbons for her. And now in reply, what she said, and what for? So that means she was not beauty conscious girl. Okay, that is why she is asking, you want to make color ribbons to me, but what for? What is the use of those color ribbons? What should I do with those color ribbons? Nothing, he said. Ribbons were made gleaming with colors. The busy girls of workers' paradise had to now spend a long time every day in tying the colored ribbon round her hair. The minutes slid by unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. So before that, all the people of paradise for whom work is worship, everybody was busy with their work, and this girl also, earlier she was workaholic. Earlier everybody was workaholic, and now this girl has become conscious about her beauty, and always started spending time to beautify her, or to look after all these color ribbons and all those things. In workers' paradise, work had of late began to suffer, so every work has been stopped. All kinds of procrastination, postponement has been taken place, because everybody earlier they were very busy with their works. Now everybody started concentrating on unnecessary things. Many persons who had been active before were now idle. So earlier they were very busy, now they have become idle, wasting their precious moments on unnecessary things such as painting and sculpture. So this man completely contaminated, polluted the entire atmosphere of paradise, where the people used to believe that work is worship. Now it has become like wasting their precious time, things such as unnecessary things such as like painting and sculpture. The elders became anxious. A meeting was called. All agreed that such a thing had so far been unknown in the history of workers' paradise. So far this kind of a thing has been not taken place, because everybody was busy, and the meeting was held because elders were very much worried about what's happening in the paradise, because they have never seen such thing in paradise. They wondered, and they called a meeting, okay, and discussed what happened, what's happening in the paradise, workers' paradise. The aerial messenger hurried on board before the elders and made a confession. Now, as soon as the meeting was conducted by the elders of workers' paradise, the angel who had taken the spirit of this waste man or a wrong man came before to these guys and confessed. Confessed means agreeing the mistake, whatever he has done. I brought a wrong man in this paradise, he said. It is all due to him. So he confessed, he said that I am the man who brought him to this workers' paradise. I have done a mistake, right? So that is why that man is reason for this one. That is why all paradise people are not working anymore. This is what he said. The man was summoned, he came in, and now as soon as they came to know the fact by the messenger or the angel, so they called the wrong man in order to present before them. He came in, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his pile of paintings, and they realized at once that he was not the right sort of workers' paradise. So they looked at him, all the elders, they looked at him, this wrong man, his attire, his way of standing, his way of, lifestyle was completely different. As soon as they saw him, they decided that this man doesn't deserve any more in this paradise because he polluted the entire atmosphere of paradise. Stiffly, the president said, "This is no place for the likes of you, therefore you will have to leave at once." And the fateh or the fatwa has been released by the president. What he said? "See, wrong man, this is not your place. You are no longer supposed to stay here. Please, you have to vacate this place. This is what we want, all of us, we want from you." This is what the president said. The man sighed in great relief and gathered his brush and paint. But as he was about to leave, the girl of the silent torrent came up bringing and said, "Wait a moment, for I too will go with you." This is a funny thing, when as soon as he listened the rule or the decree of the president, he was about to leave. He gathered his brush and his other utensils, and he started going somewhere. The same girl from whom he has taken the picture met him and said him that she also wants to come with this wrong man. The elders gasped in surprise, for never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise, a thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So finally, this wrong man succeeded to make paradise as hell, and also he succeeded to take the picture girl along with him. So this is the lesson, my dear. A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, written by Rabindranath Tagore. I hope you must have understood very well. And further, Ariel means moving through the air. Exult means filled with joy. Gasp means struggle for breath, pant. Hustle means to move quickly. Jostle means bump into or push. Linger mean remain or stay. Moving finger means fate or destiny. Refers to the belief that an angel keeps a record of the good and bad things that one does on earth. Peer means look closely. Pitcher, a large pot or jug. Ply means work busily. Pry means to look closely or curiously. Quaint means attractive because of its old fashion. Scan means looking carefully something. Summon means send for. Torrent means stream. Trip means hop or dance with light steps. Whim, unusual desire or impulse. Wisp means a curl of hair. So after completion of this lesson, in comprehension 1, you will have to face with 10 short questions, and in comprehension 2 you have to face with 5 long questions. And after that, in post reading activity, talk about an art gallery or museum you have visited, or discuss in artwork that has impressed you, Then next, write about an art from a form of your interest, and you just have a look on the page number 12 where one poem has been given in page number 12, that is by W.H. Davies. The poem name is Leisure, which is totally against to this lesson. You just try to read that one and try to compare the wrong man in Workers' Paradise with W.H. Davies' Leisure. So in leisure, what is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare, no time to stand beneath the boughs and stare as long as sheep or cows, no time to see when the woods we pass, where squirrels hide their nuts in grass, no time to see in broad daylight streams full of stars like skies at night, no time to turn at beauty's glance and watch her feet how they can dance, no time to wait till her mouth can enrich that smile her eyes began. A poor life this is if full of care we have no time to stand and stare. So now try to read this poem and try to compare with the lesson which we had completed just now by Rabindranath Tagore, A Wrong Man Worker's Paradise, with W.H. Davies' Leisure. So here ends today's session, my dear. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll meet once again. Thank you very much. Take care. అయిందా లేదా ఏం సంగతి